What if I told you a 17-year-old high school student built a dropshipping business that made more money in a month than most people make in a year? You might think it is one of those fake success stories floating around social media. But this is not some made-up headline. This is the real story of how a regular teenager with no special background, no startup capital, and no business connections turned a simple online idea into a thriving dropshipping empire. And before you roll your eyes and think this is just another overnight success, let me make one thing clear. This was not overnight. It took strategy, patience, and plenty of hard lessons along the way. If you have ever dreamed about starting a dropshipping business but felt overwhelmed or unsure where to start, stay with me. This story might be exactly the roadmap you need. Let us begin with the first thing that made all the difference. Picking the right niche instead of chasing trends. Most beginners fail at dropshipping before they even start making sales. Why? Because they chase viral products they saw on TikTok or Instagram. They believe if a product is trending, it must be their golden ticket. That is exactly what this teen did not do. Instead of falling into the trend trap, he focused on finding a niche with long-term demand and passionate buyers. He spent 2 weeks researching markets that had consistent search interest, loyal customer bases, and products people actually cared about. He landed on the pet accessories niche, specifically unique dog training tools. The logic was simple. Pet owners, especially dog lovers, are emotionally attached to their pets. They do not hesitate to spend money on items that promise to improve their pet's behavior or comfort. By avoiding short-term fads and focusing on a real need, he gave his business a solid foundation. And here is something most people overlook. It is better to be the go-to store for a small but loyal market than to be just another face in a crowded trend that fades after a month. So ask yourself, are you picking products based on real demand, or are you just following the crowd? Sometimes, standing out means not following the hype. Building a simple but trustworthy online store. You might think building a store that makes 6 figures means hiring expensive designers or creating some flashy website. The truth is far from that. This teen built his entire store using a basic Shopify theme and customized it himself. The focus was not on fancy animations or over-the-top graphics. It was on trust, clarity, and making it easy for customers to buy. He used high-quality product photos, clear descriptions that addressed customer pain points, and simple navigation. He also made sure to include real reviews and trust badges on every page. The goal was simple: make visitors feel safe and confident to order. One mistake many new dropshippers make is thinking the store itself will sell the product. In reality, the store just needs to remove doubt and friction. People buy because they trust you and believe the product solves their problem. If you are stuck thinking your store is not good enough, maybe it is time to stop obsessing over design and start focusing on trust. After all, a clean, honest store with clear offers will always beat a flashy one full of gimmicks. Mastering social media marketing without paid ads. You might assume that to make big money in dropshipping, you need to spend thousands on Facebook or TikTok ads. And while paid ads are powerful, this teen took a different route. With $0 to spend on advertising, he turned to organic marketing, and it worked better than he ever imagined. He started a TikTok account focused on funny dog videos mixed with subtle promotion of his products. Every video either entertained or educated his audience while casually showcasing his items in use. Within a few weeks, some of his videos started getting thousands of views, and orders began to roll in. He also joined dog owner Facebook groups, not to spam them with links, but to genuinely engage, answer questions, and offer value. Over time, group members started checking out his store on their own. This method of relationship-first marketing turned out to be one of his biggest sales drivers. The takeaway here is simple. You do not always need big ad budgets. If you are willing to put in the work, organic social media can build your brand faster than you think. And best of all, it builds trust because people feel connected to you, not just your product. So, have you been ignoring organic growth because you thought paid ads were the only way? Maybe it is time to rethink your approach. Learning customer service and turning buyers into repeat customers. You might think the goal is just to make a sale and move on. But that mindset is why most dropshipping businesses never grow past a few orders. What set this teen apart was how he handled his customers after the sale. He made it a rule to respond to every message within 24 hours. He offered fast, honest answers to concerns and even followed up after delivery to check if the customer was happy. If there was an issue, he resolved it quickly, even if it meant losing money on a single order. This approach built a loyal customer base that started recommending his store to friends. Some customers even came back to order more products within a few weeks. What most people forget is that it costs way less to sell to an existing customer than to find a new one. By focusing on customer service, he turned a one-time sale into a long-term relationship. And that is how businesses grow into empires. not by chasing new customers endlessly, but by serving existing ones better than anyone else. Think about this. When was the last time you treated your customers like they actually matter? Because they do, more than you might realize. Reinvesting profits smartly and scaling up. When the money started coming in, it would have been easy for him to splurge on new gadgets, a car, or even take a break. But this teen had a different mindset. He reinvested a big chunk of his profits back into the business. He upgraded his store features, hired a virtual assistant to help with customer support, and finally started running paid ads, but only after his organic sales proved the product's work. He also expanded his product line within the same niche, offering bundles and upsells. By scaling smartly instead of recklessly, he avoided the common trap of blowing money on ads that do not convert. His growth was steady, controlled, and based on real demand. Within months, his business revenue crossed into 6 figures. The big lesson here: do not rush to spend your profits on things that do not help you grow. Reinvest wisely, improve your systems, and scale when you know you are ready. That is how empires are built, with patience and smart moves, not by chasing quick wins. Adapting fast and learning from mistakes. One thing that stood out in this teen's journey was how quickly he adapted when things did not go as planned. His first product idea was a complete flop. He spent hours setting up the store and promoting it, only to realize people were not interested. Instead of giving up or blaming bad luck, he analyzed what went wrong, gathered feedback, and pivoted to a better product in the same niche. This ability to treat mistakes as lessons instead of failures saved him weeks of wasted effort and helped him succeed faster. Business is never a straight line. Those who win are the ones who stay flexible, learn on the go, and refuse to quit after setbacks. So if you are stuck or your first idea fails, remember, the winners are not the ones who never fall, but the ones who get back up smarter every single time. So how did this teen build a dropshipping empire? None of this happened overnight. There were setbacks, failed products, and plenty of long days and late nights. But he stayed consistent, learned from every mistake, and kept pushing forward. If a 17-year-old with no experience can build a successful dropshipping business by following these steps, what is stopping you? You do not need to be a genius. You do not need thousands of dollars to start. You just need the right mindset, a willingness to learn, and the discipline to take action consistently. And if you want to avoid the biggest mistakes that destroy most beginner dropshippers, make sure you watch my next video. I will be breaking down how to invest your first 100 in the stock market, because knowing what to avoid is often even more important than knowing what to do.